3 steps to becoming fluent in Japanese. Step number 1, and a mistake that most of the beginners keep making, is overusing the word watashi or even overusing the words watashi wa, sore wa, kore wa, kare ga. This part of a sentence is a topic marker. For example, when I say watashi wa isha desu, I am saying that I, watashi wa is marking me, am a doctor, isha desu. However, in Japanese, you don't have to say watashi wa isha desu. You can say isha desu if you are speaking about yourself. For example, you meet your friend and want to speak with him. You start some basic conversation and you are talking about yourself, and you can say neko ga suki desu. Or if you are talking with a friend, you wouldn't say suki desu. You just say neko ga suki, because this is polite form. The first time that you let your friend know, or anybody that you are talking with, that you are talking about yourself, it doesn't necessarily have to be by saying watashi wa. It can also be just by the context. You don't have to say watashi wa anymore. If you meet a new person and you want to introduce yourself, I would say John desu, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And it is obvious I'm talking about myself. From that time, I don't have to say watashi wa when I want to talk about myself. Same works for the person who I introduce myself to. When he want to ask if I am a doctor, he doesn't have to say anata wa isha desu ka? He can just say isha desu ka? And I don't have to is he speaking about him? Is he asking if he is a doctor? Hai, isha desu. Anata wa. Nothing like that. It is obvious that he's talking about you, and you can say isha desu, hai, or something like that. It is kind of a struggle to explain this, because in English you usually use the word I am, he is, she is. But in Japanese you don't have to do that if it isn't necessary in the situation. However, when you are talking about someone else, you are talking about your friend, and you are saying Bobu wa ii hito da yo, and then you want to speak, and then you want to talk about yourself, of course that you have to say watashi wa, ore wa, or whatever pronouns you want to use. Keep this in mind and use watashi wa, kare wa, sore wa only when it's necessary. Step number 2 is to use particles yo, ne, or yone. You may have saw Japanese conversations where people just say konnichiwa, watashi wa John desu. No emotion, just introducing yourself, and this is also a weird way to introduce because I have took it from textbooks. But when you actually talk with Japanese people, there will be some emotion. For example, you say John desu, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And then when you talk, you can say kyou wa ii tenki da ne. It's nice weather today. Kyou wa ii tenki da means it's nice weather today, and I added a particle ne at the end. Kyou wa ii tenki da ne. If you don't understand ne particle very well, you can go check my video. I have it on my channel. Short explanation, it is basically asking if the person agrees with you. It is a little bit gay, but Japanese people like to use it. And when I say ii tenki da ne, you are waiting for the person to respond, yes, it is. It is a nice weather. It's a way to talk, and it's a way to put some emotion in. In English, I would translate it to it's a nice weather, isn't it? When you don't use it at all, you will be seen as a foreigner who doesn't understand these nuances, and when you can use this particle. Same for yo. Your particle is something like putting an special attention to the statement, or like an exclamation mark. For example, you see a spider. Ah, kume da yo. You want to go to the pool. That's my favorite sentence. Puru ni iku yo. Or puru ni ikou yo. It's more enthusiastic than puru ni ikou. or even buruniku, which is a little bit that, and when you don't use the yo particle at all, again, you will sound like an unemotional creature or a foreigner. Japanese people won't think that you are weird, they will just think that, oh, he is not that good in Japanese. Maybe he knows the words, but he doesn't know how to talk with Japanese people. This is a step 2, and when you add this and use ne and yo, Japanese people will actually have some respect because it is the fluent way to talk. Step number 3, which is the last one, and it is connected to the step 2, and it is using even more nuance and even more emotion. I'll just quickly show you what that means. There is a verb form called teshimau or chau, depending if you want to speak formal or informal. Now I will speak informal because that's how you speak to a friend. パソコンを壊しちゃった. You can say パソコンを壊した. パソコンを壊した means I broke a computer. And from the context, I don't have to say 私のパソコンを壊した. It is obvious that I broke mine. But when I say 壊しちゃった, ちゃった is something like oops or fuck it. It's expressing the fact that you don't like what happened. パソコンを壊しちゃった. 雲を殺しちゃった. I killed a spider by mistake. I was just scared. And I stepped on it or just slapped it or something, and it's dead now. And I regret it. This is just one of the examples how Japanese people express the emotion and nuance into their language. And with that, you also want to learn yo, ne, and stuff like that perfectly. And with these, you will be very fluent. Now just a quick plug for my paid program, which is the first link in the description. And it is my full Japanese course for beginners, where I will cover everything you need to go from complete beginner in Japanese to actually being fluent, understanding Japanese media, videos, anime, manga, whatever you want to. And there is also a community where you can ask me questions or another people who are in my program. Basically, if you want way more help from me, go check it out, and goodbye.